Je sais pas, il y a les...
Hello, hello everyone. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Hello Solitaire, hello Greenfield. Whoever else is here as well. Welcome to the stream. We're nearly going. I'll just be doing Tundra trading station quickly. And you know, if you guys have any questions before we start, that should be a pretty straightforward match. The first one, we were third in power, so we are again 61 or 62, something like that. So, should be a good practice, chill kind of match, but we'll see, It's not a bad alliance that we are facing, so... It just seems to be like a regular alliance and not a state alliance, so... They're just like power compared to the state alliance we made. That's about it. What do we buy? Let's buy what we always do. Start with. And see what's left. Yeah, that's mostly it, right? Maybe we buy one of these tomorrow, but usually you don't do that much in one day, so that's probably it for today. That was quick. And what do we have here? Nothing to do, so let's go on the right alliance. Maybe let's start to recall all of these. That's the match, right? That's a big, you know, that's 50% more power, so even if these guys are a strong one, that should be good enough. Hey Sat, how are you, mate? How are you? ready to fight. Ready to fight. The strongest alliance we end up fighting will be probably 10R, which are 170, so they are kind of close to us. They are not too far, but we still have a good hedge. All of these except 10R shouldn't really have a chance, so that should be a pretty a smooth run for us. Unless, you know, it's like at a time where we cannot get a lot of whales and they have a lot of maxed out player and we don't, like something like that. We'll see how it goes. But being third in power for the registration, it really helps. Grabbed that pack today from Tundra League for Granchard. Yeah, many it seems that quite a few people are buying it. I mean, it's a low amount, I find. I find it's really hard to buy shards, to be honest. But I'll do Journey of Light tomorrow. I might max out Journey of Light for the first time to see if kind of making a video about maxing a pack is, you know, helping the channel somehow. Because it's a lot of money, but sometimes, you know, when you make YouTube videos, sometimes that money is worth spending. So we'll see how it works. I might max it out tomorrow, Journey of Light. So that's a lot of shards, a lot of speed ups, a lot of mithril, a lot of charms. Which, you know, is except the speed ups, it's more or less all I need, so. Let's do a tiny bit of upgrades, if we can. One more level here, that's not gonna be too much. And I'll go on voice when we, you know, when it starts for real. I guess many people are on voice already. So I'll join, and that will be... Quick question, what should I prioritize from the Tundra shop in your opinion? Tundra shop. You are not meaning this one, right? Because this one there are no fire crystal. You probably mean... Either the Tundra shop, the ordinary and the champion shop, right? That's what you mean? Here I will go, yeah, of course. I'll go mithril, fire crystals, probably designs for me, but it depends. You could go these. This is very valuable for me as well. I'm missing so many of these, so I'll go, you know, I'll buy it all at the end of the day. All will be bought, no problem. But if I had to pick, if I had to choose, mithril, fire crystal for sure. And then whatever else you need next. Yeah, league shop, so I guess there's a bit of a delay. So that's probably you. But then here, you know, it will be... you have to buy the building every time, because the building can be bought once, and you cannot upgrade it. So that's something to buy every time if you care to have these extra defense. And then, you know, mithril again. These are really important for us. So I'll get these. I'll get these as well now, the designs. Then I'll get the teleports. And I should be able to buy most of it also. But we will see. We will see. Like, if you look at our state... Where are the alliance combatants? I guess when you have that, you cannot see the list of alliance, right? So we will be able to see it right after. But it's, you know, there are one or two out. There is clearly one outstanding alliance. So I guess betting for the winner is quite straightforward. Yeah, you want to get, you know, to always keep 30k, right? For these ones, like the purple one, you want always 30k left. So you can predict on 3 teams, and you can go up to 10,000 per team. So you want 30k left. So you always want 30k. Whatever you have extra above 30k, you can use. Let's see if people show up. Oh, that's Bear Trap. I was like, you cannot change alliance. You cannot change Tundra Armlix, but it was Bear Trap. So we'll see how it goes. Power is changing a bit. 7 minutes. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. 18 of you. Thank you very much. I just need to verify the strategy. What am I doing today? Where is the Tundra armsing plan? So the plan is for me to go here. Okay. Okay. So I know who I'm playing with. Hey Greenfield, welcome. I came again. I have a few questions. Feel free to ask your question. Hello, Kuchi. I'm not sure where you are from and how to pronounce it, but welcome. Hello to you as well. May skip completely Lancer stat upgrade if I want to use 50-0-50 with me. You technically can. The only issue with that is there are places where you don't choose. You don't choose in Canyon. You don't choose in wherever else. There are a few places that I cannot remember right now from the top of my head, but there are a few places you don't choose, so that, you know, skipping fully, I don't know. Like having clearly your Lancer, your Marksman, and your Infantry ahead, yeah, for sure. If you want to play 50-0-50, you can always, you know, at some point, if you are like 50-0-50 is not working for you, you know, take 2 or 3 months, you focus only on Lancers, and you will get back to a balanced state, right? Unless you spend 10k on only Marksman and only Lancers, it's gonna take you, Marksman and Infantry is gonna take you 5k too. But you know, if you don't spend money, worst case scenario, in a few months you balance things out. If you really want to change. But I would be really interesting to see how 50-0-50 is going, to be honest. Either like, not as a rally leader, because I mean, you can play a rally leader offensively with it, but more like, you know, zeroing city, playing in Foundry, like really curious. Or it will go to decide to play that way. I've seen a few times players that played like 20, 30, 50 before we know about 50-0-50 with Mia. And to be honest, they were doing very good in Foundry. They were like, it felt they were doing very good. You know, they were on the opponent teams. So you just see people stat and you just see like they are burning and stuff, and it seems to work. But it's a very rare choice, so I did not find any guide maker or YouTuber or someone you can see live, you know, streaming or playing and telling you about it that does that, doing that. So that's kind of the part that we miss, I guess, and lack. But everything else should be okay. So we got Infirmary empty. We will pop the pets, because they're gonna, you know, be up for 2 hours. We're gonna pop Recon. And I think I'm not gonna pop any other buff, to be honest. If it's a no match, I'm not gonna pop any buff. Maybe I just pop deployment capacity. That's maybe really it. Kuchi. Kuchi? Yeah, that's with the T, I guess you pronounce the T. And hi from Poland. That's a country I don't know, actually. I know many Polish people, work with many of them, but that's a country I never went to. Maybe one day. I was like, there is no countdown, right? But so I'll cut the music, I'll go on Discord, because I don't know how to split audio tracks on OBS yet. I'm kind of a noob with OBS still in many ways, so I'll go there so I can kind of follow what's going on. Hello, everyone. So we're ready? I guess we're ready. So what do we do? You get, I mean, I don't think we'll see. We'll see if it's a tough match. I might just pop. You know, it's 2k gems. I'll see. I think the first few matches you don't really have to buff too much, but the whales, you know, will basically buff. I don't think I'll go a lot of solo attacks. I might need to set my preset marches this week. Why people def with 60-40 and attack? Because, you know, I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, 60-40, just need to lower the sound a bit of Discord. 60-40, we know it works better overall. It's the thing that is the hardest to beat. Attack with, you know, 50-20-30, we know as well that, you know, from testing, we know that what's worked the best. Like, you know, how to explain it with maths and the game formulas, I'm not sure I can. But we know these are working the best from experience. The game is 2 years old. But even now, people are using 60-40 for offense. To be honest, more and more people, or they are using Mia, and they are using, you know, 50-0-50. For us, we use without Mia even. We use a current Gen 9, we use 40-10-50 in offense. The good thing about 60-40 is Lancers and Infantry, they all stack on offensive and defensive stats, right? So Lancers, they stack more on offensive stats, but they still, you know, scale very well with lethality and attack, with defense and health. And Infantry, you know, they still do a bit of damage, right? Even if they don't do a lot, they still do a bit of damage. So overall, these are quite okay. So that's, and 2 troops, it's a lot easier to refill as well in the castle. In the castle, you know, like maintaining a ratio of troops is very hard when you reinforce. So if you have only 2 troops, so there is like a lot of upside to all of that. You have heroes with good skill that scale very well with them as well. Like early days, like heroes are a bit better for marksmen, and later they're a bit better for lancers in some ways. And then just let me swap to some defensive heroes. Just let me swap to some defensive heroes. At least one. Oh, we have a new icon. I think last time it was a Tundra icon. So let's see who we are up against. I'm just gonna lower a tiny bit Discord because it's hard to speak, focus on the chat, and listen to, you know, to people. So far they seem to have quite a few strong players, but no globes. But they're probably close to them. You know, these are skin of spender, so usually these are strong cities. Can we see the power that's in the battlefield right now? Yeah. So that's a bit in our favor, if I may say. Did I get enough? Do I want that? Let's do that. I get a bit more power, you know, today. Get a bit more lethality and health. Are you a whale or high spender? Not at all. I've been low spender most of it, and now I'm medium spender with the YouTube channel. I'm kind of stepping up a bit and investing a bit more in the game, so... So if you are looking like for big, crazy, well-spender action, and I'm not that kind of... That's not that kind of channel. So far, it's... we are only 23. We are only 23. They are 22. So for me, I'll go prototype 1. I missed there. Okay, does not want to teleport where I want to. So they have some kind of good skin, but they seems to have no globes, no big well, so we'll see how it goes. But that should be quite okay. So that's my spots. I'm just looking if we need help somewhere before I go to my spots. They are not really going so far, right? So far they are not playing. So we will see, because that's kind of where I should go. They are taking that one. So here they are playing a bit. So we need to see. Let's play the reinforcement game so far. And let's do a 50-20. It might not be a very action-packed stream, guys. That's the first match. It's a third. We are third in power, so we are facing very, very low-ranking enemies overall. So yeah. So I'll just reinforce, keep one march, and maybe we go for hunting or points later. I thought you were well. I mean, no, I have power. I'm playing the game for 2 years, so I have a decent gear and I have decent things if you look around. But like Wells, they have charm that are 13 or 14. They have red gear, that's T3. My charms are 8. So it's a very, very different level of power. Thank you for the hearts. So far what the enemy did, they kind of went here together for points, right? They just had some people going here that are getting these roads. We should get more points for holding buildings, so getting your personal points should be a bit more easy. So someone is... they're trying to burn a bit. They are porting, so they start to be offensive. So maybe, maybe they wait for us to have our march, our best march out of our cities, and maybe, try to burn us, or they know that they're not gonna make a lot of points and... But so far that's a bit weird, So far it's chill and a bit weird. I'm not against the chill. I'm not going for Helios. Should I still upgrade my War Academy? You don't have to go to level 5 if you don't go for Helios, but I think you quickly have to go to 3 or 4 anyways, right? So you can save a bit, but eventually you will put it to level 5. Because especially when you start to have Fire Crystal 6 and plus, all the buildings start to need refined Fire Crystal, and that's really tough when, going to Fire Crystal 5 is quite easy at that stage. So for now, you don't need to. If you put it 2 or 3, you might be able to do most of what you want. But I recall vaguely I had to go to level 4, after a few months anyway, so... Okay, so they are rallying. Fair enough. I mean, they're playing a bit more right now. Yeah, they are porting prototype too. So I'm not too sure what they do. It's a bit shy of a start. Let's call it that way. We'll see, but that's a bit shy of a start. I think that's our third time option as well. That's the worst time for us. So that's probably why. I mean, now we are 30 with the backups. But that's the time we like the least. We prefer 7 UTC in the evening, 7 p.m. UTC, or 2 a.m. UTC. But that's terrible for me. It's 3 a.m. for me, so that's a bit of a terrible start. So we make a bit of points. We could try to take that out of them. Can I scout? Yeah. I guess Lincoln is going on the offense. Trimble is going on the offense as well. What's better for offense, to send to JC to CO or JC, Patrick, Sergey to test joiners? I'm not 100% sure. I know I think both works really well, to be honest, at that stage. The way we what? Oh, okay, we full. I was like, why am I returning troops? Let's go a bit for action. So this guy is a meteor. They have one. He's a big whale. So yeah, so I cannot tell for sure which one is better. Nowadays, we know that offense is working as defense. It's not like there are no like specific mechanic to offense or defense. They work the same way. So playing an offensive setup in offense and a defensive setup in defense is just like a thing we like to do as players, but it does not seem to be reflected in the game mechanism, right? Except like some widget that work in offense and things like that, but it's not a different mechanic. It's just more stats, right? In terms of stats and the way the combats are working, like people that analyze that a lot, they understand that it works the same. So if you use 60-40 for defense with defensive heroes, you should be able to use 60-40 in offense with defensive heroes or offensive heroes. So more and more people are mixing, like you said, the second option, JC, Patrick, CO, Sergey, for example. More and more people are doing that. That's not something we do too much, and I think that's something we should try a lot more, to be honest with you. I think that's really something we should do more of. Okay. Because I think that might actually be better, yeah. That might actually be better. But you know, it's one thing at a time. When you change ratio, when you change heroes, it can be very confusing for people already that don't follow that. But it could be that 4 different ones, like we try to have 4 different ones as much as possible, at least in defense, because in defense you can control, for anyone that was on stream, right, for the battle. Here we have in defense, we have the 4 at the top, right? So we have Mia, we have JC, we have Patrick, we have Magnus. So if I wanted to cycle through that, I will promote Lena to Garrison Leader, and then I will promote back Dragon Lady, and Lena will go at the bottom of the list. So then we will have Mia, JC, Patrick, Wooming. So that's a lot better. We removed the Magnus, which is offensive, and we added a Wooming. The next one in line I mean, we have nothing else right here, but you know, because that's Foundry and it's not the right heroes. But you can cycle through heroes by promoting and removing people as rally leader and putting them at the back of the list, at the bottom of the list. So in defense, you can have we always aim for 4 different, right? And often we use 1 offensive, which is René, because we use 60-40, and we use 3 defensive one. But I'm pretty sure that if you put a Jesse in the middle or a Geronimo, that will work very, very well as well. So there is a bit of action here. There is a bit of action here too. I'll wait, you know, for this to open to see, you know, see what's going on. I don't want to spend too many teleports. I don't want to spend too many things on a match that's not really interesting. So I'm gonna say it's a bit boring, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not interested to make a lot of points by. The only issue is like I need to make my points by holding buildings, and I'm only in 3, and that's gonna be very low. So at some point, I need to play a bit offensively and find someone I could actually burn a bit. Else I'll need to put myself in 5 buildings or something. 5 or 6. But this dude is burning is a FC10. Maybe I go here. Try for some action a bit. See what we can do. And see if there is a difference between 50-20-30 or 60-40 for me. Well, he has 4 million troops, so... So let's try 60-40, see if it's like a big... This is 3 troops. That's a bit better, right? If you compare the two. That was 100k, 110k troop, and that's 300k troops. So 60-40 seems to be a lot better. And then everyone is attacking, so that's gonna be... And when they are, you know, between 4.3, like, they were the same amount of troops. So that's really insane. I mean, that's 3 million, so they are really getting damage here. So that's something I wanted to try, and I did not try it during SVS, because I did not want it to lose my troop for nothing. So that dude is starting to really burn a lot. Let's use, what can I use that is nice? Nora will be okay. So they got that one, so that one we need to get. Do we need some in training station? Yeah, we can use a bit. He's doing nothing, he's zeroing himself on me, so that's okay. So I got my points, you know, that's all I wanted. Helping the team got my points. I'm not where I should be, but, you know. Like, what we care is, like, they should do as little point as possible. That's really important. That they do as little points as possible. Because next week ranking are based on the amount of points you make. So as much as possible, you want them to not do many points. Is he reinforced now? No, he's not. And the thing that is amazing now in Foundry is like you get that, right? So I got 300k troops that are free that I can actually heal. And I can get, you will want infantry. So I can already use that immediately. So, you know, that guy is about to attack me, but he's weak. I made some tests without 4 heroes, without heroes, 4 different joiner at the... Yeah, it should be. Sorry, I missed your second comment. I thought you were... That's what I've seen as well. It's likely to be better. I mean, the dude is literally zeroing himself, so... I'm not complaining about that, you know. But you will see that if you try to go around and say to people to use, like you said, Jesse, Patrick, CO, Sergey in offense, they'll yell at you that you're stupid and that's not how it works, and offense means offense and blah blah blah. And already people, I have many viewers that have issues to not have 4 Patrick and 4 Jesse in their alliance. When for us, like, we clearly defeated stronger opponents when they stack Patrick and Jesse, and we don't, you know, that was really a no match in that case when that was happening. They are not super strong, to be honest. I mean, they are not weak, but... Oh, someone is reinforcing me? Oh, I got Chippy reinforcing me. Let's have fun a bit. So the map is blue, and they're gathering a bit that I don't like. Okay, so we got new things to gather, so I'll gather a bit, I'll help. You know, that's a... Let's gather a bit. There should be one more somewhere. Well, that's why I dislike sometimes so much, like the emulator versus being on the phone or something. It's like so weird to navigate. I want to scroll. I cannot scroll more. Okay. So I think that's all okay here. I think all of them are gathered. Here they are gathering a bit. So let's get it. And let's chill. But this is a question, how CT debuff is working, because there is a debuff. Attack and defense, do they cut CO Sergey buff? So my understanding of these, I need to refresh what we discussed about. Can I go back to... So I'm listening to Discord as well a tiny bit just to see what's going on. So the guy teleported. So I don't know where they are, what they do. So, you know, again, that's why you bet on the top, you know, 3, 4, 5 alliances, because you are facing the bottom, and we are top 3. So we face bottom 3, which is 62, and you see what kind of match that is, right? They will, you know, try to make their points. Hopefully they can make some points for themselves. But it's not gonna be very fun. And that's gonna be like that for a few matches. And then maybe the last one of this week, so Sunday, will be actually a bit more interesting. Which I'm not sure I can stream. Hopefully it's at 19 UTC. If it's 2 a.m. UTC, I cannot. If it's 14 UTC, I cannot. I'll be driving to UTC, and 2 a.m. No way. Doing a wife's birthday with family, so it's not gonna happen. Yeah, the scrolling, you know, that's really terrible sometimes. But, you know, I for streaming and whatever, for me, it's so much more convenient than being on the phone. It's just like moving around with the map is a bit clunky sometimes. So yeah, that's it. That's a one match. That's simple. That's why I did not want it to buff. I did the 20% deployment capacity because that will use that for registration in Alliance Championship. But else I don't really care about it. So Greenfield, so my understanding, and if someone knows better, let me know. But you have in the calculation formula in the game, you have one side that is attack, you have one side that is lethality, and in the damage mitigation formula, you have one side that is defense, you have one side that is health, right? So, and these are multiplied versus between each other. So that's something I've shown in the Chief Gear video. And let me pop it back on screen. Battle mechanics. Just let me check that's the correct thing that's showing up, right? So that's attack and lethality, right? If you have 100 attack and 100 lethality, it's not the amount of damage you do in the game, but that's to give you an example. That give you 100 if you multiply them. Because they have a multiplicative relationship between the two, and that's the formula. That's being used in Whiteout Survival as well, it seems. So you see, like, you have attack and lethality on both sides, and in the middle it's multiplied, right? And same in defense, you have defense stats and you have health stats, and it's multiplied. The relationship between is a multiplication. So let's say that the situation you are in, you have 200% attack, you have 100% lethality, that's the damage you do. But if you have a 20% debuff on attack, then that's gonna be 20% less, so that's gonna be 160. So you're gonna multiply 160 by 100, and that's gonna give you 160 instead of 200. If you are in that situation, that's why, you know, you want balanced stats, and that's why often people say that lethality and health is having more impact on what you do. It's because they are multiplied. If they are closer to each other, you get a bigger number in the end. So that's 300 stats, that's 300 stats, that's 300 stats. Here it's 200, 200. Whether you get health, attack, or lethality, it does not matter. As long as it's 200 and 100 on one side, because it's multiplicative, it does not matter. If it's 150, 150, you get, it's 12.5% more damage, which is a lot. So that's why you want stats that are close to each other, and you want a bit more attack and defense as well, especially if you are a rally leader, because these numbers will be reduced by the opponents, right? Lethality will be reduced, health will be reduced, but it's like 5% from the pets, I think, right? When that now can go up to, is it 10% from the pet plus 20% from the buff? Yeah. So attack and defense can be lowered by up to 30%. So that's why you want more as well. So I don't know if that makes sense to your question, if that's helping. Exen, hello, hello. I'm starting my journey being content creator with WOS. When I run up by my channel a little bit, then ask them about partnership. I mean, I really don't know how it works, to be honest. I applied before I made the channel, and like they just posted, and they were like, we are looking for people, and I'm like, you know, I make written guides for my, alliance for over a year and a half, a bit less actually, for over a year. I want to make English and French content, which, I just started the French channel because it takes so much time. And they were like, yeah, welcome. A few days later, but I really don't know much more than that, to be honest. So I applied one time before, and I think it was to write written guides. I think it was not for YouTube or for video content. So it was really for applying for a written guide, and I did not get an answer. But I think my application was not really good because all my content was in private Discords. It was not like in public settings, so I could not really share a lot of my work, and I did not spend time to make my work available to them to show them what I was doing. So that went nowhere. But I don't think I was super motivated as well for doing written contents. And then yeah, for the video. Maybe I applied shortly after I created the channel. Either it was just before or shortly after. Because I started the channel on like a teammate asking me to do another, kind of asking me again about Frostfire Mine. And I've been, posting on Discord of the Alliance and the State, like my guides and explaining to people. And they were like, I don't get it. I still suck at it. So like, okay, wait, I'll make a video. That's how it started. So maybe I applied right after, but to be honest, they accepted me. Maybe I got lucky because it was the time where there was a bit of like people stopping that were part of the program and some people joining. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, Westnerd is great. It's just hard to understand sometimes. If you are good at math and you have the mindset for it, it could be a bit easier, I guess. I used to be good at math when I was in school and stuff, but I just did not practice for many months, many years. So I'm very, very rusty with my math understanding, and it takes a lot of efforts right now to kind of go back to things that I used to understand a lot better. So are we having everyone getting their points? No, not at all. We miss some people. So these people need, if they can, they need to make points. But good luck for your application. Hopefully they take you on. I think I got a bit lucky in terms of timing. I was a bit surprised they accept me the first time, to be honest. But I have no clue how it works, like why me, why not me, I cannot tell. Sorry. I guess most of them got the road, right? By now. Most of them got the road. Yeah, I would as well, to be honest. I would as well. Like, I think it will be really helpful if you have a good, like a portfolio, right? A few videos. They can see the quality of things you do. And I have no idea, but that will make sense to me, right? That's why I was really surprised I got in initially. They did not add much, but that could be a time that they just needed people and, I made a good impression or something. Don't know. Maybe it's a bit as well based on, the way you kind of handle your account in game, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. So everything is gathered, the map is fully blue. You know, it's a bit boring, but it is what it is, so. I'm going to show you the action, but that's all there is to going on. We are also winning with 210k points. Yeah, that's, you know, that's as long as you are a bit on one side of the leaderboard, like either in the top 20 or the bottom 20, bottom 15 is gonna be a very hard time. Top 20 is gonna be a very good time for the first match. So thank you, Gucci. Thank you very much. I'm trying, you know, trying my best. I need to learn a bit the YouTube thing, but and I, you know, really push me to learn more about the game as well. Some things I was lazy to learn about, and you know, when you make videos, if you don't know your shit, people tell you. If you make mistakes, you got to know it, so that's good as well. That's important. Wow. But isn't that the guy? Isn't that the guy that I attacked? So that dude that we burnt is 4 million troops earlier. Just freaking spent, I don't know how many days of training. I mean, there is no event that it makes sense to use healing speed ups, right? He uses healing speed up to put everything back, and he got zeroed again. What the? So things are safe, right? So yeah, trying to see what's going on, but not much is going on. So someone got a lot of held troops, like injured troops, but I don't know where he is and what's going on. So that might be somewhere here, but it's probably not JJ's. JJ is zeroed. I mean, if you face these guys as a, you know, as a solo alliance and you are not a monster alliance, they are tough cookies. But you know, with because we are using 4 alliance to make 1, it's a bit tougher, you know, for them. So there are not that many people here. Gathering is kind of not being done, but that's okay. Some people had fun at least. That's a funny PFP. So yeah, sorry for them, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Happy with the win. Easy win, moving forward, getting, you know, getting enough tickets to buy stuff. Yep, yep, yep. I mean, I'm not sure they will be able to zero that guy. That might be a bit tough. What? The two instead of the in front of the city? Oh, that's the plane. I forgot he was doing that. So they're trying to zero the dude. So let's see if PT is burning him. Yeah, it's not doing anything. So you speed up a march, and that's did literally peanuts. I mean, not peanuts actually. That's remove like 13.7 million power. So that's quite a bit actually. Just did not burn, but yeah, he is burning now. So they manage to burn them. Fair enough. Oh, it was a rally, fair enough. See that people that play 60-40? I mean, he's actually, I'm not sure what he plays actually, because he has like so much more on infantry than everything else. But that's pretty good. King Davy is pretty strong. That's he's safe. That should be safe as well. But people are going after them, so you know. Like, I don't like to waste teleport and stuff. People really love that, you know. They play for that and they spend. But like, some people burn like 10 or 15 teleports probably today. I'm like, I got 124, that's probably why. Oh, they managed to take it? That's really surprising to me. Okay. But there was like nearly 1 million people inside. I thought it would be okay. I might go, you know. Gathering is done in 20 sec. I am not really needed anywhere. I've done my part with gathering, so I might go after. Oh, deported. So he's trying to pop buildings. So yeah, so they are, they are trying to pop some buildings. So where is... And the dude is burning teleports. Like, what, Why would you do that? We have 1 million troop inside, so unless he can... Unless he can do anything. Yeah, he's spotting against, like, why do you waste your teleports? I mean, it worked, right? They could get it once, so... Let me reinforce the one that missing a bit, that are not full. I don't need the points anyway, but... just in case they try to blow them up. Yeah. He's trying to get that one. Yeah, he managed to. So that's exactly what they're trying to. So that's that's not a big deal, but that's less point for us. So it's not good. We could totally prevent that. So I was wondering where he was. But he kind of zeroed himself doing that. Let's speed up some marches. So that's 3. They did not really took points from us at the end of the day. I guess he's just having fun. Okay. All good, all safe. Should be okay now. Anyone playing beyond Xen and myself? Anyone else having their foundry right now? That one is safe. I mean, he can try all he wants. Oh, PT is burning him. That's pretty good. That's how you zero someone, when you have a few good marches. But they are going after middle. They are going after middle. I mean, probably not doing much, but... I'm using bear joiner heroes. That's how lazy we are. I'll do proper lineups, like proper marches when we when we have better matches, like toward the end of the week. I'm just too lazy to do it between now and Bears and redo it for Bears, so. Me playing against FC1, FC2, G29. And how is it going, Mohamed? I will on Sunday, but I'm Gen 2. Try to understand game mechanism is very hard because there is so much. It's hard. I mean, there are two things, right? It's hard to understand because the game is not good at teaching you the mechanism, and it's quite unclear. So that's one thing. Like the reports are confusing in some areas, like the way some of the reports are working. Like for example, widgets attack and lethality had the same impact on the overall damage. So for a long time, I thought that lethality widgets are better, and then things like that. So technically, no, it's actually the same. So it does not matter. So things like that. So there are things that are misleading. Plus, on top of that, we don't really have much explanation about anything, and I'm trying to get to the point where things can be explained simply without being fully explained, I guess. But then people can get the gist of it, right? So, but I need to have a good understanding myself, which was not always the case in the past. So. Oh, so you are FC10, and these guys are FC1 and 2? That's really weird. I mean. Because, these guys are at least, proper levels, but they are just far weaker, right? Just checking the chat. Oh. Okay, that's the mercenary. So they're probably all, they have half of them who left, and if you want points, oh, that's us. Okay, that's not them. Okay, fair enough. Good job, team. Nothing's gonna happen today. But Greenfield, like if you start to understand the game very well for a Gen 2, to be honest, when we were Gen 2, we had no idea about anything we talked about today. We just know you use what we use 60, 10, 30 of 50, 20, 30, and we are thinking we are the king of the world with using for Patrick or for JC. And we thought we were the best player in the game, that kind of that kind of things, like, oh, we understand the game so much better than everybody else. Because some people, 2 years ago when I started, like there was not that many YouTubers, the knowledge was not as well spread and shared. Many older states knew because it was still like state, my first state was 422, so there are still a lot of older states, but at that time, if you were not like in touch with older players, and there was not that many, you could play like a noob, basically. There was still many alliances and many players that played like total noobs and had no idea about anything about the game. And then when I started again in 665, it started to be a lot better, because most alliance had people that were from older states or in contact with people from older states, so we all get kind of the best information at the time, right? And then people not starting 3000 and they're already playing 60-40 from day one. They know what to do. They know that packs are better later. They understand it all, and it's a very different experience, I guess. I mean, there is no risk anywhere. Oh, I misclick something, so I'm not opening. Let's see if I can do something on him. Yeah, if you are on Wosners and you follow like a few good, I mean, people that play the game, for a few years, you will get most of it. And even some of us, we have outdated knowledge compared to people on Wosners and that kind of stuff. Maybe there are other Discord as well that I'm not aware of. Maybe Alliance specific Discord that have a lot of knowledge. I know there are some, but they are not open Discords, right? So like some of these big states, big whale states, they sometimes they have a lot, they have a lot of things on their Discord, and we used to have people sometimes that got access to these Discords, and they could get very good information about heroes, ratios, and whatever. But that's not easy to not everyone is sharing what they know. Many people are not. So you get, if you don't share, you have an advantage, right? Imagine you are the Alliance that played a year ago. You played you play 4 different heroes in offense and defense instead of stacking. The amount of SVS you could win. $60-40 is working very well, to be honest. I'm very surprised by it. I think I might play that next SVS for attacking city, and it's actually really good because it's not gonna kill my marksman, and I need a tiny bit more marksman for full bear if I do full bear like on secondary alliances sometime. It just take forever for me, right? To try to burn a FC9 that got 4 million troops. See the amount of attacks it takes. So let's try to zero him while he's attacking me. Maybe speed up his march to get back before me. So if you guys do your own testing, plus you learn from others and you understand like the basic, like the ratio between attack and health and lethality and health and defense, you can kind of do. Your rally leaders can really be effective basically. So fully that's his main march, so I'm gonna crush him. Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for. He used his main march, and he's not gonna crush me. So now he's a bit in trouble. So fully I can get before him again, and he's gonna be zeroed. Yes, finally. After an hour of fighting, he's burning. So I'm just watching. Apparently they are trying to make, to explode some of our buildings. So, you know, 2 million points. I did not really push for it, so that's really okay. Is this guy a concern? No, it's not. So, okay. I think we should be safe for the last half, you know, minute and a half. We zeroed that guy. That's at least something. I'm happy to see 60-40 works well for me. So I might not do like focus on 60-40, but I might do like infantry tiny bit ahead and do marksmen as much as lancers instead of lancers a bit behind marksmen. I don't have infantry anymore. That's why like that expert will be so good to heal troops. Could we do something? Yeah, that's, you know, that's 100. I'm just running out of troops, so it's not gonna go well for very long, but everyone is kind of zeroing himself on him. Maybe he actually makes points, you know. Yeah, that's the first. What do you do? I defended weak players, you know. But that's still going down, you know. He's gonna burn eventually. Yes, so it's even failed with 500. So we managed to make him burn. So good job, everyone. That was a nice, easy win to start with. We got point on 40 people out of 50 registered, so that's pretty good. I mean, PT made 20 million points. So let me just check quickly. So Legion 1, it was a no match. Legion 2, it was a no match, right? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Because, you know, we were like 57, so that minus... So they played against like one of the top alliance, right? They played against one of the top alliance, top 10 versus, you know, bottom 10, so... That will what happen with most states. If you manage to register 2, you know, unless you do 2 balance alliance, and then they have a bit of chance to do something. So 50 tickets, 7k here, 20k from the prediction. So that's pretty good. Let's get here, let's get back home. Let's what? Let's accept people back. Let's register to AC. With your buffs. Let's look at what we can do and buy in a sec. I'll just register before what I think about it. Should I? I'll just wait for someone to come, you know, one of the big whales. I don't know for you, but today I got like on my 2 accounts. I got actually like a golden truck on the first roll every time. I think that never happened before, and the odds of that is like super low. So Wobster is back, so we can use that. Oh, she cannot be. She's not. Violus, Sato, Lincoln, 33. Yeah, she did not put herself available yet to assist the truck, so... So let's look at the tickets. So we need 30 for the next round, but we have one bet tonight, and the bet is the first versus the last. So, yeah. So that's gonna be a total no match. But let's not spend what we don't have. So we're gonna keep 27. That we can do for now. We can already buy that. That's day one. And technically we could buy 2 of these because we will get them from tonight. So we're gonna get 30K for tomorrow, but I'll do that later. Just to be safe. And here we wait. So is there anything, guys, you want to talk about? Any question? Else I'll go back to work. I cannot really, it's the middle of the day for me, so I go on for the match, but I cannot like stay for 2 or 3 hours. And I need to get back to work. But let me know if there are like a few last minute questions, things you want to talk about, we can. Else I will be back on a stream Wednesday. So we have times at 2 a.m. UTC, 14 UTC like today, or 19 UTC. So I don't know which one it will be yet. We will know tomorrow the time of the next match, and I'll try to be a bit better communicating it. So you guys know in advance. So everything is as planned. Alliance Showdown is pretty tough. Like these guys are very, very active for day one. These guys are very active for day one, so I'm not too sure it was competing for now. That's really not cool for us. We have Bear later today as well, I think. No, Bear was yesterday, so we just have that. So 60-40 works really well for Alliance Championship. I don't know if if you paid attention, but well, some people registered with a lot of buffs. And if you are R4, you can check what are the troop ratio of people. So you can, contact people that are not following what you want if you want to. So I'm gonna wait here. If you want someone that's good to help your trucks, you can just track the time. So, one of these 3 would be good. That's 1.9, 1.9. Wow, she's 4.2. I guess she's fully buffed, right? For Foundry. That's insane. Everyone, Jonathan. Absolutely everyone. That seems to work a lot better. I had a doubt, and I actually barely faced anyone that was doing 60-40, but we faced someone that did 60-40 2 weeks ago. So I looked at their match, and I look at their, at like the weaker player and the stronger player, and everybody was winning their match, like, by so much. So, like, if there was 2 people with same power, right? Like, let's say a free-to-play player, 2 people with same power, the 60-40 versus 50-20-30 was losing 20% of his power and his troops. Something like that. And they were same power people. And they were not people playing like for 60-40, They were not 60-40 people, basically. They were just like you and me playing regularly. You see, I'm not 60-40 by any means. Like my marksmen are still better than my lancers on everything I do. What matters is really like the marksman hero you use. So if you have Bradley Gen 7, Bradley is a beast. If you don't have Bradley, then you have Greg. That's scaling very well. And if you don't have Greg, then you have Lynn. So Lynn is free to play, so that's the last option. Greg is really good if you have him 4 stars and skill level 5, and then you have the other ones. Yeah, I mean 60-40 seems to be making sense everywhere. Like, I tried a bit today and inoffensively, and it seems to make more sense than my 50-20-30 that I usually use. So I'll play a bit more with that. Maybe next Foundry, I'll like go aggressively for maybe, unless it's a match that it's contended, and then I'll play my road. I'll just, you know, go where I'm supposed to go and reinforce the building I'm supposed to reinforce. But else, I might play like aggressively for a few minutes to try it a bit out. So people want a gathering node. Of course, you can get one. Of course, you can get one. That's here. Do you think it's good to save all your chests as opposed to opening them as you receive them? Does not matter, Jonathan. You know, sometimes I save, sometimes I open them right away. Like, unless, you know, unless I get some people are tracking opening rate of chests in a spreadsheet. But for me, it's all percentage based, no matter the chest. So I don't overthink chest. I'm just opening them whenever it makes sense to me. Sometimes I keep them for a bit, you know, a bit longer to kind of for fun. Like I keep all my chests for a month, for example, to make a video, like things like that. Sometimes I get lazy to open them, so it really depends. Really depends. But it should not change anything as far as I'm aware. Even if there are some people, you know, making spreadsheets and trying to figure out if one way is better than the other. But there are a few options, right? Chest is 100% based on percentage, and they give you the percentage. So I don't know if I have any left. I don't really have any left, right? But you have many, and if you click on the little whatever exclamation mark, you get the percentage. So that's what I'm assuming it works. It's like you get the percentage you are. So you can get better odds if there is a bug. Like let's say when you open 30, it's making the chest bugs and it's giving you twice what you are meant to get, but we will kind of never really know. Even if many people are testing, you know, it will look like it's more generous, but we will, you know, it's hard to really know if it's a bug. Because you will need to open, you know, 100k of, you know, 100k, 200k chests to be kind of sure that your percentage are accurate and you not just got lucky. Or else there is like kind of a fail-safe mechanic that guarantees you, you know, something after a while, and you can somehow play with that. But that for me, that's very, I don't know. It feels very unlikely, to be honest. So it does not matter. You're talking about Alliance Championship. We do 7. I think it's, you know, I did not try, Liam. I think it's as good, more or less. Some people do 80-20 even, but I did not have time to really play, you know, experiment between 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. I'm not sure. I'm not sure for Alliance Championship. I know that 60-40 works. People are used to it. It makes sense for people, so I went with that. But it would worse testing 70-30 or 80-20. Totally. To be sure that, you know, that's kind of the best ratio you can get. But in my message, you know, that I sent to everybody, you know, I'm suggesting to use 60-40 or 70-30. That's what I send to people every week. But we have people doing 60-40, to be honest with you. So that's, and it's hard to test, right? It's hard to know which one is the best because you will never play against the same opponents and with the same stats. And so it's like, it's a bit hard. Do you ask people to make sure they have one marksman? I mean, why would, in my opinion, unless somehow it works better and I don't know that it works better, you will want one marksman if you have a skill or something that's triggered by marksman, right? So if you had like something that would be like, I don't know, Bradley's marksman had a 50% chance to do X, then you will want a bit of marksman to trigger it with your marksman, right? And you will maybe want more than once. But if you don't have something that's triggered by marksman in the skills, then for me, it does not make sense. But again, maybe, you know, maybe they know better. They probably should. Like, I was talking, I don't know if it was you, Liam. I was talking to a viewer, I don't have them, right? But Bradley is a beast. So usually people are asking, you know, in Gen 7, 8, 9, they're asking you to use Bradley. Then Blanchett becomes a beast, right? But Blanchett is not good at 60-40. Bradley is good at 60-40. So I have a viewer that his alliance was using, was asking them to use Blanchett because she's the new OP hero. But she apparently, I don't know yet, but she seems not to work with 60-40. So people are just like confused about how things work, why things work, right? It's like, why do you use Greg for 60-40? It's because Greg has a buff of damage, enemy damage taken, damage down, so enemy does less damage, and health up, right? So it's reducing damage, it's doing more damage, and it's improving health. So that's all scales amazingly with Lancers and with Infantry, because damage taken down is really good for both of them, damage up is really good as well, so that's why you want Greg often, is because that is boosting everything, right? If you look at Alonso, let's say you say, oh, you know, Alonso is a beast, don't use Greg, because Alonso is better in arena. Alonso is a stun. Who cares? Alonso, enemy damage taken down. Okay, that's okay. Damage up. Okay, so this is 2 out of 3. Greg has 3 skills, so it's just better, right? Even if Alonso will beat Greg in arena, for example, or people overall consider that Alonso is the better hero than Greg. So you just need to try to understand a bit why we do, you know, what we do. It's like we had people as well using Nora on 60-40. Yes, okay, but she's boosting, part of it is boosting marksman, right? So you just get the 15% damage taken reduced on your infantry, right? And your damage up on infantry. So of course, is it good on 60-40? It's not bad. It's actually not bad, but you might want a 25% damage taken down as a joiner, for example, if you don't use marksman. And I don't know about the other ones, right? But that's a good skill. That's a good skill as well, I think. Yeah, Bradley will be really good. Maybe, you know, you just spin the wheel like 120 times the first time you see him, and you just put him 3 stars to save your shards. If you want to use as little as possible, I'll use the first event icon or the first SVS. But for us, we had him like the week after SVS, so it was waiting a month. So I did like a first KOI or whatever, first, you know, armament competition or whichever event. I put him 3 stars, even if it's like overkill, because it was just a nightmare in arena. You can wait for the second week, and you can wait for your first lucky wheel eventually. So you get like 180 shards from your lucky wheel, then you put 150-ish to get him 3 stars, and you're good to go. Something like that. That would be great, I think. Or you just, you know, you just struggle for a month in arena. That's as well really okay, in my opinion, to be honest. And that's not the end of the world. But, you know, if they know, you know, some people test things and they don't share it, so they have their little secrets, and maybe one marksman works better, you know. I really don't. I cannot tell you it does not. To my knowledge, it does not change anything, but that does not mean it does not change anything. That's what I know, so yeah. So that's why I think it's really interesting as well to have the Discord and the videos, the streams, to kind of talk about these things and, you know, learn from each other. I'm sure there are people that play the game better than we do, that understand the game better than we do, and that if we will fight them in battle and they were weaker, they will still win because they understand the game better. What's happening right now is like we win. We win most of our matches versus strongest opponents, so, you know, it feels that we're on the right track, because we just last Saturday we won versus 2 maxed out whales, which we never did before, and that's, you know, they are clearly an edge, right? So, but that does not mean we got it all. So something you should not do. So you see I got 25k tickets. It's because I was betting on us, but our Legion 2. I did not pay attention. I was like, oh, you know, it's my state. I'm betting, and I bet on our Legion 2. So, yeah. So that's 5k ticket lost. It does not matter at the end of the day. It does not matter at the end of the day. But yeah, that's, you know, pay attention to which Legion you are betting on. That will be the TLDR. Tonton, in the end, what is better? If you are using 50 or 50, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. We never used 50 or 50 back then. So for 60-40, it's clear. It's really clear. I could bet on it, basically. That would be fair. We can try to think about it, right? What could be best, but from the top of my head, I would not be sure. What's to consider, like one of the things to consider between Greg and Alonso is that Greg is an offensive widget, if I remember, but Alonso as well. I forgot. No, Greg is a defensive widget, right? So that's a big thing. That's really a big thing. Yeah. If you look at, I don't have Greg 4 stars. I might put Greg 4 stars on this account just for Labyrinth and stuff. But if you look at Greg widget, it's offensive else widget. And Alonso is an offensive. So both are offensive, so they are actually both okay in offense. I knew there was something with Alonso's widget, but I could not remember why, what. And that's lethality widget in offense, right? So both of them are offensive. Just maybe double check Greg. Yeah, it's offensive. So it's just health versus lethality. So they are kind of, more or less the same. Unless there is a... But offensively, I will use health with 60-40. I'll use Greg, I think, probably. It feels a bit better offensively. Maybe then Alonso works a bit better with 50-0-50 because he's a bit more offensive and you want to do more damage. So that's what I would think, but I'm not sure 100%. So I'll use Alonso in 50-0-50 Gen 3 and Greg with 60-40-0. But that will be time for me to go, guys. I'm a bit hungry. I need to cook as well. Wife is coming back home. And yeah, need to get back to work as well. We have Journey of Light tomorrow, so that's a very good event. Free to play, you cannot do much. But for the expedition pack, you can do quite a bit, so that's something to consider eventually. But you don't have to spend to enjoy the game. But I might just make a video. I'll play the game mode and I'll just recap what people, what to do kind of thing. I've made a guide not too long ago, but that's gonna be exciting. It's a cool event. But that's it for me, everyone. Really need to run. Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate the question. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate the sharing as well. Don't think I know better. You might know better on some things, and that's how I learn as well. So that's really appreciated. And I'll see you very soon. I'll see you in the next one. Good luck for your matches if you play. And if you don't have an easy one like us, you might need some luck sometimes. Cheers. Much love, guys. Bye-bye.